All right, we are live.
Hello.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Moonmen TCG. And we decided yesterday we did an impromptu set 3 tier list because of Anthony. And so we decided today we should do a set 2 one because that's where our meta is right now. And we want to throw our opinions in the ring about what all these decks, where they stand for our set 2 placements.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about set two because it's right around the corner, and it's gonna be so much more diversity, in my opinion, than maybe a little bit more. But set one was one of the most diverse sets on the offset ever. So I don't know, but I'm really excited to see what this new meta brings and all that stuff, and maybe
Indeed.
even how it changes based on like time, because we've seen so much stuff change over set one.
Over
Right?
set
It was
2
like,
as well. I mean, from early set 2 meta in Japan to now, we've seen a lot of changes. What's up, Quapman?
hey, Quap. Yeah. It's definitely gonna be something that is something to look forward to, and I'm really excited to delve in the tier list.
I think you should pick either dive or delve. You don't need both words.
Dive, same thing. Oh,
Yeah,
I guess
exactly.
we'll
That's
say
the
it right.
point.
Right. Super duper.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, so yeah, before we get started on what decks are going where, I'm just gonna throw a quick thought process out for our 4 tiers here. We will add more if we need to, but I don't think we will, as they will be in order. So S tier is going to be the meta decks to beat. I think there's going to be 3 of them. They're going to be the top tier, cream of the crop, best possible things you can play. A tier are going to be all of the things that compete with S tier. They're very meta relevant. I would still call them meta decks, but they are not quite as strong, quite as meta dominant as what is in S tier. B tier are going to be things that it's like you could play them, but either they have glaring weaknesses or they have a better version of themselves in a higher tier, so they don't really belong in a higher tier because you can just play the better alternative. C tier is going to be for things that are interesting and fun and unique and worth playing if you care about that kind of thing, but not meta relevant in any way. And then D tier are going to be for the leaders that are just basically not worth playing, the ones that don't really net you any advantage whatsoever. They are completely dwarfed by alternatives. They bring nothing fun or unique to the table. Just avoid the D tier altogether.
No, I think you started off in a really a fun statement that you. We're not gonna go in order of like S, A, B, C. Like you're not doing that way. We're just gonna ball leaders and then put them where we put them.
Yep.
But you thought 3 S decks that belong in S. I actually already think there's 2.
I think there are 3 in S. I'm pretty confident in that statement.
We'll debate.
Yes.
What up, Movement? Did you see this ranking? I'm honestly
Trafficker.
excited to do it.
Yeah.
All right. So first leader, what are we looking at?
We're starting with Zoro. First leader
Nice.
out of set 1, and that's an easy S tier placement right there.
Easy.
Zoro was the most dominant deck for most of the Japanese meta.
Long.
It's not going to change coming into here. He's not, I don't think he's going to be the best deck. I think we're better prepared for him now than the Japanese were when the set first dropped. But, still easily one of the most dominant decks in the format and a fast track path to winning a lot of events. It's
just an also consistent deck, way more consistent than it was set 1, and it has such a powerhouse tools that gets available to it from set 2, and I think that also just makes the world of a difference for how relevant the deck is. And again, like you said, it's just so fast and powerful that coming into set 2, it's just gonna be like it's almost tier 0. I think in like at the very beginning of Japanese meta, it was a tier 0 deck, the deck to beat, and now it's still up there. I don't know if it's. I wouldn't necessarily call it the tier 0 anymore. I think I'd call it like the tip of the iceberg. But like I call it
exactly what I'd call it.
Yeah.
S tier. When a deck is straight tier 0 busted, better than everything else, we do throw up an S plus tier like we did for our set 3 tier list. That is no longer. That would have been the case when we were first doing set 2 tier lists. We had Zoro in like an S plus. That's just no longer the case. It belongs here in this S tier.
Yeah, for sure.
Law. I'm pretty confident with a Law in an A tier. It's a meta relevant deck. It can compete with anything we put in S. It can compete with anything we put in A. But it isn't so dominant, so meta defining that it belongs in the S tier.
I think Law just gotten so much more consistent tools coming into it. It's definitely a way stronger deck, honestly, than it was in set one, and you'll notice the difference immediately when you play it. Um, I just think it's not better than Zoro, like just off
Oh no.
pure power alone. And I think if like obviously a good Law player is going to make it like you. I think if you're a good Law player, you're going to feel real good coming set two, and um, your hard work and dedication towards Law is going to show. And I think if you're playing Law, you definitely could beat those S tier decks. Like it wouldn't.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not that
that's
bad.
the whole point of A tier. It can absolutely
Yeah,
compete with everything in S.
absolutely.
It's just
Yeah,
not the dominant force.
it's not
It
the thing
doesn't
you're
have
going to
the
see.
statistical backing that all of the S
Yes.
tier decks will.
Yeah, and it's just you'll notice a feel and power when you're like from even dropping down from S to A, you will notice how stupid of a difference sometimes. But granted, even then, like Law, I honestly feel really, really dumb playing. Like that deck just feels powerful. So, but when I'm playing Zoro, I feel like God himself. Like not to say he's God tier, but I'm just saying like I just feel real good, and you will notice the difference, in my opinion. So
Yep, agreed. Luffy, red green Luffy. I'm throwing this down here in the
red
C
green
tier.
Luffy,
Yeah, red green
yes,
Luffy.
red green Luffy.
So red green Luffy brings uniqueness to the table. It's a fun deck to pilot. It does things that other decks just don't do, but it is in no way meta relevant. It will not competently compete with anything in SA or B tier. It just doesn't really belong anywhere special.
Yeah, Red Green Luffy. When we saw the very beginning of reveals in set two, I was very excited to see the Straw Hat engine be
Yeah, there we go.
incorporated into Luffy, and it was just a really cool engine and really cool idea to integrate with his leader.
Mhm.
But it's just not there. It's not powerful enough. It's just not consistent enough. It's really unfortunate because I love that deck, but Luffy just is not that good.
Mhm.
Red Green Luffy, at least, unfortunately.
Okay, that brings us to mono green Oden.
Hmm.
I'm inclined to put mono green Oden at the tippy top of the C tier.
I would
I
put him below Luffy, but
I
I
think
would.
Odin got enough support out of set 2 to dwarf Red Green Luffy. I think Odin dwarfed Red Green Luffy in set 1. Red Green Luffy
Mhm.
didn't get anything out of set 2 that would, in my head, put it above Odin.
Right. I think you're right. I think I don't know. I think it's a really close call. It's a hard thing to judge, in my opinion, but I think I'm okay with where we put Odin
The new
in
support that
C, as long as
Odin
it's in C.
got is relevant, but Odin was already a fringe deck that wasn't very strong coming into the first set. And we basically got a completely upgrade for him in the form of Kinemon out of the new set. And
Yeah.
Kinemon is going to place much higher. But there's just no real reason to be playing Odin, and he will not competently compete with your S and A tier decks.
It's unfortunate, but what are you gonna do?
Now, for Doflamingo, I'd probably put him in the tippy top of B.
Ooh. Uh. Hmm. I really want to agree. I think I want to give him justice by putting him in A, but even
I
if we
don't
did put
think
him in A, he'd be at the bottom of A.
Here's the thing about Doflamingo. The point of B tier was one of the two justifications for B tier. There were two. There was
Right.
the deck can compete but is not competently, or there are better ways to do roughly the same thing in a higher tier. And that's the
Yeah.
Doflamingo trouble. It's that, hey, Joe Silo, what's up? It's that
What's up?
Ivankov, which is going to place higher than Doflamingo, spoiler alert. If you're
Oh,
why
for sure.
why bring Doflamingo to a table when you can just bring Ivankov to a table? And that's what
Um,
makes Doflamingo belong in the B tier.
I think I don't know. I'm inclined again. I'm inclined to agree. I think the only thing that I think Doflamingo has a lot more tools in set two that makes it way funner and cooler and have more power. The fact that you have a 6K Gecko Moria, the fact you have that
6K Vanilla
Kuma,
Suite.
yeah, like you have that Kuma if you want to play it. You have a lot of tools. You can play that all 7 Warlords deck and feel hilarious, and that's fun.
We're not
But
discussing that. We're talking real shit up in
but
here.
but I think Doflamingo is just slightly not good enough because it's not. I feel like with Ivankov, you're doing a very different strategy, and I feel like if you're playing Dofi, it's because you love Dofi from set one and you just want to continue with it. Like I feel like Ivankov and Dofi are just so different. Like if you talk, excuse me, I'm talking about like Odin versus Kinemon. I'm with you. It's like why you play Odin when you can play Kinemon that has a emphasis on Wano engine and it's better. Where Dofi and Ivankov are just very separate played. Like, they're
I
very
don't
different.
actually agree. I think they're incredibly similar. I think they're incredibly similar. I think
Mm.
they accomplish the same goal through different effects. Where basically all that they do is I build big oppressive board while trying to retain a proper hand advantage. And Ivankov does accomplish that by using every card in its hand as often as possible, whereas Dofi accomplishes that by hoarding every card in his hand as often as possible. So they end up doing similar things. Like, it's certainly not the same deck. It's not as comparable as Oden and Kinemon, I'll give you that. But
Yeah,
they
definitely.
still have the same feel. They still accomplish roughly the same thing. They just
Mm.
do it through different means.
I think the funny thing about this is even if I got my way, it's still a bottom of A. That's not that much
Yeah, see, I'm
different.
on top of B. You're on bottom of A. I think we
Like
can just
that's
leave it.
not like
Also,
that's not a big
Biggs
deal.
OPTCG in our chat says for sure B in his opinion. And as you know, I value his opinion incredibly highly.
I also
So,
value 'cause that's
Biggs
Christian, right?
OPTCG. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's Christian. I know Christian very well,
Oh.
or decently well. I play against him a couple times in locals.
Oh,
and
damn. I was
tournaments.
riffing. You actually know this guy. All right,
I
good.
do. Yeah, of
So,
course I do. Yeah,
see,
and
he
I
says
do
for
trust his
sure
word.
B. So I trust his word. Hey, what's up, guys? Quick question. So where does Beer New World Purple go on this list? Samuel,
God,
you're getting a
Samuel,
timeout, bro.
stop.
You're getting a timeout, Samuel. 10 points deducted from Gryffindor, that's for sure. Blue Purple Kaido. I think this is going in the C tier over here.
Yeah, okay.
It is fun. It is unique. It does interesting things. It will not properly compete with the SA or B tier decks, no matter what I fucking say about this Beer New World trash we're thinking about building. Until I'm proven wrong, it goes in C. I do not believe it belongs in D, the completely unoriginal, boring, don't touch leaders, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think if someone comes out of the woodworks tomorrow and goes, I have a way for Kaido to be a meta relevant deck in set 2, I'd be like, you know what? I believe you. I'm there.
That's
like,
us. We did that.
But as of right now, and based on its performance in like Japan and like just what we've played and seen, I definitely agree on your placement.
You said you'd build it after the tier list. I'm just trying to have you keep your word. All right, I'll build it after the tier list.
God.
Fine, Samuel.
What are we in, Blue Purple Croc?
Yeah, I think I'd put this top of C.
Top of C. That's so interesting.
So Blue Purple Croc is the hidden 7th best deck in the game in set 1. Where I would have called, see, if these were if we had the tier list in set 1, we just wouldn't have the D tier. It'd be SACD, right? And it'd be S was the super meta relevant, A was the meta relevant but not crazy dominating, C would have been everything that C, or B would have been everything C is right now, and D would have been everything that D is right now. There just wouldn't have been that tier of something else does this better, because we didn't have a big enough leader pool. And so I think that Blue Purple Croc belongs roughly in the same tier, because it's like right off of being useful and viable, and it just doesn't have enough oomph. I put it above the rest of the things we have in the C tier because people have solved it, have found ways to figure it out, have fun with it. But I would not call it competitively viable, especially coming into set 2. But I don't believe it belongs in any higher tier, but I do believe it has had a stronger showing than the other things we've put in C so far. Something else might go above it, but in comparison to the other crap set 1 leaders, I put Blue Purple Croc at the top.
Wow. I see. I would have put Blue Purple Kaido above Croc. It would be my only argument, but I'm fair.
So you think you would have done this?
Well, I can't see your screen, so is that.
Why can't you see my screen?
Are you sharing it on Discord?
Oh, is that what you want me to do? You just
no, you don't have to. I'm just saying I can't see it otherwise.
You can see it unless through the collab cam.
You can?
Here, I'm sharing it on Discord. So you do this, because I had Kaido at the bottom of C tier, which actually it should be above this, but
let me take a look here. I would put Kaido, Blue Purple Kaido above Croc at the top of C.
See, I definitely wouldn't.
It
just has had a worse showing. We haven't seen anything to warrant that.
Well, are you talking about in general from set 1 and 2, or just set 1? Because if we're talking about set 1 and 2, we have seen it top in set 1.
We saw it get the 1 top 16. We've seen Blue Purple.
We saw it got the 1 top in Japan out of 151 players or 50 players. That was a while ago.
The top that was really early set 1 though. and
Yeah,
when everything
but
was still being figured out. Let's be real, none of
we're
this
talking
matters
about
until we get
heavy.
duck support and OP for it. Yeah, that's a fact. Imagine we get an Alabasta set without ducks. That would be blasphemy. I would quit. I'd end the channel. It'd be over for me. It'd be over.
Regardless, I think it doesn't really matter. I think the placement is not.
Yeah,
that
I stand
important.
by Croc above Kaido, and you know how I feel about that guy. That you know, so.
Okay, that took me a while to get there. But
Yeah.
All right, so King
So
is next, right?
King, here's a D tier leader. It
Yep,
brings
easy.
0 originality. It brings 0 competitive viability, and it is just directly dwarfed by other leaders that exist in the set, such as Blue Purple Kaido and Mono Purple Kaido, which can do everything
now
this leader can do, but better.
And now it's dwarfed by also Magellan, just because Magellan is
I
just
mean,
better.
it's also dwarfed by Magellan in the sense that Magellan is better, but the difference would be Magellan. The reason that Magellan's probably going to end up in C tier. The difference would be that Magellan brings fun and originality and creativity. This is not just dwarfed by the other purple decks. This is the same fucking deck as the other purple decks, except worse. That's the difference. That's why I wasn't bringing up Magellan, because it's not our Oni leader. Okay, now this is all of the set 1 leaders so far. Let's move on. Let's jump into what we're doing with set 2, leading with Whitebeard, who is our other S tier leader.
Yep. I think Whitebeard is the deck to beat, in my opinion.
I completely agree.
Even more over Zoro. I think a lot of people have emphasis on Zoro. I hear a lot of people talking about Zoro, and I love Zoro. Don't get it twisted. I think Zoro is a phenomenal deck. It's a lot of tools. It's powerful. But I think because Zoro's matchup into Whitebeard isn't that great, because you have to deal with a 6K leader, like, it's still fine. Like, it's not bad. But if I'm playing Zoro and I'm playing in Whitebeard matchup, I think I put like 55% chance more on Whitebeard and then like 45 on Zoro. And I think that makes a slight difference, just because Zoro also requires like more thought, in my opinion. Whitebeard is very easy to play. That's a big draw to a lot of people. Is an easy deck that could also win is just everything you want, and I think Whitebeard has a really good matchup into just everything. I think Zoro has also not so amazing matchups into green sometimes. If you're a really good green player and not the great Zoro player, you'll lose. Where Whitebeard just really doesn't have as much of an issue because of the way that deck is played.
I think the only reason people are really hype on Zoro is because it was so relevant. Like, people who aren't keeping up don't know that Whitebeard just came out of the woodwork out of nowhere to creep up. I don't think anyone that is still following with the meta thinks that Zoro is the deck to beat anymore. I think everyone is aware it's Whitebeard, as long as you've been keeping up with what's going on. But S tier, Zoro still definitely belongs S tier. Very good deck, can definitely beat Whitebeard and contest with Whitebeard, but Whitebeard and Zoro belong in the S tier.
Yep,
Whitebeard is just Kaido, but a better color. I mean, in the sense of you're playing a bunch of big bodies, sure. It doesn't have, like, the removal. At least not to the degree.
Yeah, I think Whitebeard is not. It's a very weird comparison to compare it to Kaido. I think it's very silly because it doesn't really do anywhere near the same thing. But and also another thing to mention about Whitebeard is you have two different ways to play Whitebeard, and both are meta relevant. Like, they're both good. But if I were to someone put a gun to my head and be like, hey, where would you put Straw Hat Whitebeard? Like, if you separate that, here's a D. I would put it like right behind Zoro. Like,
I'd put it in A tier. I'd put it in A tier. Strawbeard. I think Strawbeard is significantly worse than Stagebeard. I think it has a slightly better chance into Mirror, and I'm emphasizing the word slightly. Yes, I've been beating Strawbeards left and right with Stagebeard. I really think Stagebeard is the way to go.
I think Stagebeard is the way to go. I think it's way more powerful, has a lot more better tools for it. I think even if you don't hit your stage, you're still winning the game. Like, it just helps you win get there faster.
All things in a vacuum. If Whitebeard draws what he needs to, it doesn't matter what the opponent draws. That can be true. Yeah, I definitely feel that, because Whitebeard seeing all of its pieces can be very devastating. There are decks that can contest it better than other decks. We'll get to that. The 2 angles of attack throws opponents off as well. I see what you're saying. The fact that Stagebeard is just really silly, honestly. It's just it's the deck I will be playing.
It's really frustrating. I hate it because it's so good, and I honestly want to not play it, but like, just because it's like a frustrating deck. But man, at the end of the day, I know I'm gonna end up playing it. It's too good.
Garp. I'm throwing Garp right. Come on now, right at the top of C tier.
Yep, I agree.
Fun, unique, creative. It tops every once in a blue moon.
Has it topped?
It's yes. Yeah, I found that out off of your Twitter. Fun fact. It's topped like twice
Oh,
in the
fun. I
entire
don't remember.
continuity. But it's just
I
it's a
do
ton
not
of fun.
remember.
It's really creative. It's exactly what we're looking for out of a C tier deck. I once heard Zoro is the stronger tier 1 deck to beat, and since then me and my local live with this fact. Now we'll start testing and we'll see. I'm tried Zoro these couple days and it doesn't look really amazing. Well, Zoro is really strong
Zoro
for
is
sure.
nuts. Zoro's
I would
stupid,
say
but
Whitebeard is stronger. Stagebeard specifically.
yeah,
But.
I would say Stagebeard is a better deck and requires less skill, and it's just phenomenal.
Can you do a video on a deck list and how to play Stagebeard? Yeah, actually, that's the next YouTube video I have scheduled. Is I'll probably throw this on YouTube, just our tier list thing, and maybe edit out all of this talking to chat
For
shit.
sure, it's consistent but very linear. Which one, Zoro or Whitebeard? Because
Zoro, because that's what Tetra was
they're
talking
both
about. I think.
they're both very linear, to be honest.
I tried so hard with Garp LMA, but he A tier for fun. He is S tier for fun, honestly. I think he's a ton of fun, but he's just not very good. But yeah, I will be doing a deck list video on Stagebeard soon because that is my deck of choice, and I've been very happy with it.
I think Whitebeard is just insane. It's just a stupid broken deck, and if you test with it, you'll see. I do think though, if you're playing Whitebeard, you do need to practice a little bit, just because it is an easy deck to play, but it's also like very easy to mess up, and you making one dumb.
I think honestly, I think easy. I think easy is the wrong word for it. I'm not gonna lie. But when you describe it like that, you make it sound like Kaido, like where it's literally just brain dead nothing, and it's not that. There is thought. There's a lot of math to make sure that whatever they do, they're not killing you next turn. There's matchup knowledge to make sure. Okay, I have blockers, but wait, are they going to play a red Luffy or a way to bypass blockers? Can I avoid that much? If so, how much Dawn do I have to leave up? Like, Whitebeard's the kind of deck that has a low floor and a medium ceiling. There is still stuff that needs... Oh, thank you for the sub, CJ Soto. There is still stuff that needs doing and learning. But it is definitely easier than, say, a Zoro or a Law.
Yes, Zoro, Law, like most decks in the game, honestly, like... let me think about that. It is easier to learn and pick up than most decks in the game. It is sometimes you'll make them like I've seen bad white players and they lose because they're stupid. Like it happens. Is my only point. And it's like if you're losing with Whitebeard, like don't feel bad. It isn't the most brainless dead deck in the game. In my opinion, it's just really, really close to being the most brainless deck in the game.
Knowledge of card pool is key to the highest tier play. Agreed. A deck can be easy, but will be piloted poorly if the player doesn't play enough. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
That is shown off a lot in Whitebeard because when you're adopting Stagebeard, you're adopting the risky strategy of sitting at 0 life.
Yeah, and
so you need to know what is coming your way.
Exactly, and if you're not prepared for it, like you will just lose.
Yeah.
And that's the caveat with Stagebeard. Like, yes, it's easy to like the concept to play is easy. It's very easy to pick up, but you can't turn your brain off. Like,
yes.
Where if you're playing, I think
Kaido
is
turn
like
your brain off. Yeah.
You can just go like, okay, I play Oni, I play King, I win, good game.
I play Tide Drop.
I play Tide Drop. Oh, wow. I use leader effect after putting $7 lead. I'm pretty good, guys.
Yeah.
This is good gameplay. Whitebeard requires like 10% more thought.
They're still out here talking about Garp. High C is not too high for Garp. He's better than everything else in C tier.
He's more fun than everything else in C tier.
Yeah, at least so far.
Maybe blue purple Kaido.
No, I like Garp. I like Garp more than Kaido. I'm not gonna lie.
you're crazy.
I want to be the fist of justice. Kinemon.
All right, here's where we're gonna
here's where we're gonna disagree. Kinemon is bottom of S, dude. It is bottom of S. It just is. It just is.
Nope.
It's statistically topped more.
I think it's right at the top of A.
No, it's top of so bottom of S.
No, it's top of A. God damn it.
This is the most hardcore bottom of S deck on the planet.
I don't know. I think Kinemon requires so much skill to play.
So what? So did Kid. We put that as best deck in the game.
And I think I don't know. I don't think Kid its matchups into things aren't as good as Kid's was in set 1. Like
CDAT says Kinemon is defo in S. So
I don't know.
Samuel says Kinemon kinda has to be S tier. Yeah, chat, flood it in.
I think statistically, it's hard to argue, but like I really think that it's not that I think Kinemon's bad. I just think that Zoro and Whitebeard are so stupid.
Your friend Biggs OPTCG says bottom of S agreed.
All right, well, I guess I'm gonna lose his argument, so I'm not gonna debate anymore. Like, I
So
just don't
listen,
think
here's
it's
the thing about
that
Kinemon.
broken.
Here's
But
the thing about Kinemon. We didn't say it's not like it would never go in an S plus tier, right?
no, it would never would. Where I
It
think
is.
Whitebeard and Zoro
It takes
could
a ton of skill to pilot. I completely agree, and it is extremely meta defining. You cannot sit down at an event, a big of a scale event, and not expect there to be a lot of Kinemon. Kinemon Kinemon is not great in Whitebeard. It's very good in Zoro. So we almost have this little triangle thing going on with it, right? Where it's super able to beat any of the other S tier decks more competently than anything in A tier. I definitely think it belongs in the S. Opening up a new tier for King? No, D tier is fine for King. Everything in D tier is
I honestly wish it was like S plus would be like S and S plus.
You know what? I will open up a new tier. Hold on. Add row below. Hold on. I will definitely open up a new tier.
What are you naming it?
Anthony.
Anthony tier? I hate you.
And I'll throw King down there.
I don't like you.
We're gonna keep it as piss yellow too.
I really just don't like you.
Actually, hold on. We'll do some shit brown. There is no shit brown. Piss yellow is. All right, that's the Anthony.
I dislike you.
This kick goes in the D tier. Anyway, moving on to Sanji.
I love Sanji. Can we I love him so much. He is definitely the top of C, if worse. But man, do I want to put him in B.
I honestly kind of want him in bottom of B.
I really want to put him in bottom of B.
He's
so bad.
The thing about Sanji, he had a really good showing at first, and then just kind of phased out.
Yeah,
and now
get a couple tops.
The thing about him now is even any argument I think we could have had for bottom of B for Sanji went out the window with Whitebeard, because I don't think Sanji can touch Whitebeard.
No. Oh my god, not even close.
So I think I have to put Sanji in the top of C.
I want to put him in B so bad, but he definitely just belongs in C.
Yeah.
He's more cool than he is anything else.
Yes, agreed. Ivankov, this is an A tier leader to me. It's low A, I think, but it is definitely
I don't know
A.
if I call it low A, but it's definitely behind Law. Easy peasy.
Samuel, Sanji, and Garp are the same to me. Like, they're both really fun, but they're not that viable. That's I'm exactly with you. They're just super fun decks. I'm glad they exist. Don't play them in a tournament.
Yeah.
You don't think you'd put Ivankov behind Law? You said you'd put it ahead of Law?
No, I said Law is ahead of Ivankov.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Law's
literal fucking leads.
Here's the only thing about Ivankov is that it has an actually favorable Whitebeard matchup. That's the only thing I'll say. And that brings Ivankov back up because it was kind of phasing out. And then with Whitebeard back on the rise, Ivankov is becoming more and more viable again because I think Whitebeard is going to be the most popular deck. It can also competently compete with Zoro and Kinemon, although it takes more brain power. So I think I think Ivankov is the kind of deck where maining it will be super productive. You'll be able to compete with anything in the meta. But it is not one of those decks that is just hyper meta defining on its own. And that's why it's an A tier. Yeah, Leo, you say it right. It's a counter meta deck. That's exactly correct.
Ivankov, exactly. I think Ivankov, where you're going to find the most trouble is decks that go wide like Law and Zoro. Like, decks that go wide hurt Ivankov so bad if you're not ready for it. Because multiple attacks, you only have 2 cards a lot of time. Like, that's going to hurt you. Like, there's no question about it. Because Zoro is so meta relevant, it makes Ivankov a little bit worse. But because Whitebeard is becoming also so good, it makes Ivankov better. So it sits at the kind of where
Ivankov can also compete with Zoro. It has many times.
It can. It's just way harder. Like compared to Whitebeard, where if Whitebeard becomes the deck to beat, like it could still be a toss between Whitebeard or Zoro. I think Ivankov just gets better. And you can even move it up to the top of A, but like even then, Ivankov just requires so much thought, so much practice, so much skill to make work. And I think it's gonna have a very similar showing where Doflamingo was in set 1, where a lot of people
who have mastered it are gonna show up and pop up and top.
Yeah,
and then that's it.
Yeah, and then that's all you'll see. And Ivankov is not something that like you'll pick up in 2 seconds. Like maybe you can, but like it's not the deck that's like, oh, I am now god of the new world. We're picking up this deck once.
Sorry, Max, but I think you got to open up Anthony tier again for the film leaders. If anything, that's the max tier. I'll take the harm. I'll take the harm of being with Uta and Shanks. I want him. So Magellan is interesting.
He is very interesting. I put him in B tier, to be honest.
Bottom of B. I could get behind that.
Bottom of B.
I don't know though, because he's also not terrible into Whitebeard, honestly.
I don't think that's enough justification because it's not like the matchup into Whitebeard is like an auto win or even super favorable.
No, it's not. It's just I was thinking, does he just auto lose to Whitebeard, but he doesn't. I'm inclined to agree with you. Bottom of B. He's like he can do things. The thing about Magellan is he's actually really strong, but he needs to see the right cards at the right time. His curve is crazy important. When everything is going right for Magellan, he can compete with any deck on the list. The problem is that that's not consistent. You have no way to make that consistent. He's reliant on random set 1 cards that are not searchable, like Jack, for example, which doesn't really push him to the forefront. But I do think bottom of B is more deserving than top of C.
Yeah, I think I think Magellan isn't anywhere. Like, I think these C decks are really fun and innovative and cool, but they're just like not gonna see much play, if at all. And then there's Magellan, where I could see like a couple people playing it and trying to make it work, and they have some success. Like maybe. And I think if you're playing Magellan, you're kind of being a little bit memey, but I support that. I respect the Magellan as a leader. Like I see it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna treat this like a game, like a child's play. Like, you might be able to beat me if I'm not.
Samuel, your locals is clowns, I guess. Recanted Forger, I want to touch back on Ivankov. You say Ivankov over Zoro and Kinemon, but is actually worse than Whitebeard. Like, are you saying you want us to put that in S tier, Ivankov?
Are you insane?
He says Ivankov keeps boards so well the wide boards don't stick. It's not about whether they stick. It's about whether you can handle the pressure is the truth of the matter.
Yeah, and also even then, they don't handle the board anywhere near as much as you think they do. Like, if there's like 5 1-drops,
they do fine, and they can into Zoro, not into Law though, because Law's board is too big. Like the cards are too powerful. Meaning,
yeah, like if you have a 5-drop Law on board, like they're not getting rid of that 5-drop blocker. Like, it's just not happening. Like, and if you're playing at Zoro, like that, you can remove their cards on board consistently. When you hit your Luffy turns and your Ivankov played Luffy, all that stuff, and you can clear their board, but like they're just gonna come back again anyways, or they're just gonna go like you're only stopping them for so long. Zoro doesn't even care if its board is completely gone. Not completely gone.
Well, it does.
But like,
it definitely does.
No,
now you're just talking incorrectly.
No.
Here's the thing. I'll throw 2 more things Ivankov's way before we put it to rest, because we're running in circles now. Yeah. There's two final points I'll make about Ivankov, because I feel like we've expressed that it does our opinions on it. Number 1 is that at the end of the day, stats don't lie. I mean, it's I think it's exactly as we said. When it is in the hands of a master, it will compete with any of the stuff. It can be fine, but it does not belong in S tier because it is not that meta-defining deck, and it needs to be mastered in order to even attempt to be there. And number 2, if you do not draw your 7-drop Ivankov, you lose. This happens.
That's very true.
It's not like super common because you thin through your deck so much, but any deck where I don't draw this card, I lose, doesn't sit right, and I will almost never put it in S tier. The only exception is Kaido from set 1, and that's because Kaido is just so fucking bananas. Hey, thank you for the follow, King. But like, if we were to compare it to something like Stagebeard is still a fucking threat of a deck without the stage. Like, it doesn't need to see the stage. It wants it. It wants it really badly, but it will still compete fine. Whereas Ivankov, you're not seeing that 7-drop, you're kind of just folding the game. And that's one of the bigger things that puts it to A tier, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I just think that Ivankov, again, it has the tools to deal with a lot of the A and S tier decks. Like, it's there. It can beat those decks semi-consistently, but it's just not powerful enough to be like, oh, in S, like compared to Zoro.
Recanted Forger, you will draw it. We've been practicing too. Anthony was practicing Ivankov the other day, went 30 cards through his deck, hadn't seen any of his Ivankov yet.
Yeah, I run Corona, I run Dofi. It will happen to you. Like, maybe it will happen every game. Your deck, and a lot of Ivankov decks are meant to be consistent.
You see it more often than not, because it's also searchable off buggy, sure, but it does happen.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna pretend like, oh, you're gonna see it every game. Like I've had games, and it's happened more than once where I have like it's not like 1 in 10 games. This is like 3 out of 10 games. Like it
I
does
don't know about
happen.
that. I've never had it
It
happen
happens to me
that often.
so
You're also
many
the
times.
dirtiest, unluckiest boy on the planet, though.
I'm so goddamn unlucky. But where like I'll have games where like I will go through my like 15, 20 cards, whatever, using buggies, using Peronas, using Dofis, not see a single one, and I'm like, what's happening? Is it even in my deck? Like I have to go back and check the deck.
I
Like,
have a
it's
lot of
there.
respect for Ivankov. Everything in A tier is still completely meta viable, and I like a lot. And I'm not trying to dunk on it. I just don't think it is
No,
as
it's
meta
awesome.
defining or as statistically proven as the 3 decks in S tier. Because it
Yeah,
also
I
just
love-
topped. It had a really strong showing in early Japan, and they just fell off the map. Like it almost never topped after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so sad too. Like, and the big thing too about Ivankov is when you do, see, it's like Law kind of in set one, where if you like Law didn't have as much play, but when a master Law player was in that tournament, he got like super far.
I
Where
mean, Law
Ivankov
saw
is
Law saw a ton of play. I think
no. I'm saying compared to the other decks in Top Cut, let's say, there's like one Law player.
Oh, you're
is
saying
on 2.
specifically the ones that made it to Top Cut.
Yes, I'm saying like a good Ivankov player can make it all the way and like fairly consistently. It's not like Zoro or Whitebeard. We're gonna see like a million of them and like
Every
and
deck
it's
can
just
break
gonna
sure you're
top.
going to see it 90% of your games. The even gives you value, but the Luffy is also the real threat. As long as you see one of those two, you're sitting fine. The Luffy. Oh, the 6 drop.
Yeah.
I was like, what's he talking about? I mean, it really just comes down to I really just don't feel like it is a meta defining deck that will be seen topping as consistently as the ones in S tier. That's all it really comes down to.
All it comes down to. Yeah.
The decks in A tier can compete absolutely fine. I just don't think it is quite as dominant, quite as literally oppressive as what we see in S tier. Because
like
it's not oppressive. That's the decks in S tier are fucking oppressive. They're mean. They bend you over the knee and spank you, and you will. A tier is okay. The top of blue is fine. Oh, it's absolutely the best blue deck of the game, hands down.
It's not even a competition. It's
hands
not even close.
Down. Best blue deck of the game, like by miles,
Yep.
And honestly, I would even hear an argument for putting it above Law. I just know that Anthony will argue that to the death.
I will argue to the death.
See,
I
yeah,
100% will.
And I just don't feel like dealing with him. Is the truth of the matter. But I could hear the argument for this. I really could.
I could hear it. I will not listen. I won't listen.
So I don't see. I don't even want to. I just didn't even want to bother. Also, it feels like Western players will opt for Whitebeard, Zoro, Kinemon, and Law over Evo or other more flip leaders. Flip leaders?
I don't know if flip leaders. I'll argue with Anthony for you. All right,
good,
CeeLo,
Joe CeeLo, you keep arguing. I'm gonna move on to Z. Z is right there. Western players, it feels like, prefer to play the meta. Oh yeah. They do.
They do.
Z, I put it right here with the Sanjis and the Garps.
Oh wow, I would nope, not even close. I would
fine. I'll put it in the top of B. You happy? Don't put it in A. Don't even do it. I don't know.
I'm thinking if it belongs in A, but it's top of B.
No, it really isn't though. But we'll pretend it is.
It's top of B.
It has enough statistical tops for me to put it in top of B. I think it's dog shit, but I think it's literal diapers. But
I think Z is one of those decks. If you have to put time into it, like that deck's really.
When you're facing down a 5 full field of 7K attacks, you'll feel oppressed, and it's easy to do this. Is the sickening part, but it's good for me, I suppose. The public sentiment is lower. I mean, but here's the thing: Whitebeard does that with 9Ks.
They can do that with
Zoro does that turn 3 with 1-drops. Whitebeard does that turn 5 with 9Ks instead of 7Ks. Like it's just in comparison to what's in the S tier is just so fucking gross.
Yeah, like that's a silly argument.
It's dog shit until you start playing Byrndy World in it. Samuel, god fucking damn it. What are your guys' thoughts on Set 1 Gordon or Sanji and Whitebeard in place of Trapper Barto? I like your thoughts on not needing them. I don't really like Barto in Whitebeard. Somehow I was thinking Zoro. Set 1 Sanji as a 2K counter is absolutely fine. You can use it instead of Mask Deuce. They are literally interchangeable. I prefer Mask Deuce. Completely interchangeable cards. As a matter of fact, I used to run 16 2K counters, and Sanji was my other 2K counter of choice. So if you like that 2K counter more than Mask Deuce, that's fine. Do not cut Otama. Do not cut Jozu. But that third slot is open to interpretation. Set 1 Gordon, you don't really need it. And you don't want dead cards with no counter stats because you need to defend so hard. And since you can't discard it off of Marco effect, like dead cards just really hurt Whitebeard. The only reason you can afford to run as many as you do is Marco.
Yeah, I agree. I think Gordon is like that's an interesting thing. Like I'm cool to hear arguments for it over other 2K counters, except for Tama and
Oh, set 1 Gordon's the 2K counter. I'm thinking the film card.
What film card?
I'm thinking the promo pack. You're talking the set 1, the 2K counter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. I think the card's fine. It is a replacement for
literally whatever 2K counter you want to put in the Mask Do slot. Go ahead. If you, I really don't think it matters that much. The only thing is that you play Gordon, he will not be a good attacker for you because Whitebeard is too Dawn efficient for turns. For turns, he won't be a good attacker for you.
No,
you're bottom decking a dead card to draw one.
Which
I
mean,
the best thing you could draw
stage.
is a 2K counter. Like, yeah,
I mean,
guess.
you could, yeah, but
your deck is already so consistent from drawing 6 fucking cards.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you just kind of don't
think you need it
to increase consistency for stage. It could if you test it and you like it more than Mask Deuce, that's fine. My trouble is that in Whitebeard, I don't like playing my 2K counters unless they are netting me insane extreme value because I need those 2K counters. That's why I like Mask Deuce more than Sanji because I don't want to play a beater in Whitebeard. I'd rather have a 2K counter. But I don't mind saying, oh, you're a Law deck. Oh, you're a Zoro deck. Eat my balls. You know what I mean?
I would listen to the argument where Gordon is really decent if you're playing 9-drop Whitebeard in your list. Most Whitebeard lists opt to not run it. Like,
see, but even then, you just discard that card off Marco.
Yeah, but then if you have the stage and Whitebeard, you know what I mean? Like, you can get rid of one of them and still discard the other one off Marco who have that ability. Like, I'll hear the argument.
Yeah, but then you're playing a 2K counter to get rid of a 9-drop and draw something else. That's still not netting you any additional defense.
I mean, the only I'm not saying I would support it. I'm just saying I hear the argument for it. Like, if you draw Racco Beam off of it, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, that's nice.
That feels like a pretty big if. I like what you're saying for if you don't see the stage, then using Gordon to dump a dead card to try and get the stage. I can get behind that. But
yeah, like that's a good
I just
argument.
don't really feel it's an emergency play. Yeah, but I think it's fine. That's all it comes down to. If that's your 2K counter of choice, I don't think it fucking matters.
Yeah, I don't think it matters at all. I don't think there's also going to be an emergency where you're going to be like, I need to play Gordon.
Like, you don't see stage after 4 or 5 life, but you don't need stage to win.
You don't need it.
It helps. Like, if you don't see stage, your chances of losing go way up, but you don't need it. And I don't think dumping a 2K dumping a 2K counter in order to maybe draw your stage, maybe draw a dead card is worth it in my opinion. That's just not how I feel about the deck. I guess I've tickled Anthony a lot. However, I can definitely understand it. I think it's worth testing. Like, give it a test. That's what I would say.
I honestly don't think that slot matters.
Smoker.
I love Smoker so much. A tier. Yep, there goes. And that's where I'd put it. Like, I don't think I could argue anywhere.
As a matter of fact, there was a time where I would have done. There was probably a time where I would have done this, and I think that time has passed. Yeah, the more I test against Smoker, the problem is the Whitebeard matchup. I didn't realize that it literally just dumpies on Smoker until we started doing it. And I was like,
it's not great into it.
And now this is my opinion, but I'm not fighting with Anthony. So this is
you'll be in a fight, so.
Yeah. So A tier Smoker, let's go. Smoker is absolutely A tier. It's easily the best black deck we have available to us in set 2, and it can absolutely compete with everything here. The real thing that's holding Smoker back is its struggles into Whitebeard. Yeah, Whitebeard hard checks Smoker, and is the best deck in the game.
Hard.
It is technically winnable. It happens. It's a fucking struggle.
Whitebeard. It's so hard. Like, even when you hit everything optimally and you're doing everything correct. Also, you need to, when you're playing Smoker, you need to play into the Whitebeard matchup very differently than like in any other matchup you would.
When Anthony and I were playtesting, you got it. Wyko the Weecho the Creecho. I don't know what your name is. Anyway, when Anthony and I were testing Smoker and Whitebeard, it was my first game of Stagebeard, right? We went into the sim and I was dominating. And I was like, I can be greedy here. He's not going to be able to kill me next turn. And I went for a greedy play and he killed me next turn. And he won our first game. And I was like, oh, okay. That will never, ever happen again. I get it now. I'm there. And then he never beat me again. That's how, like,
Is that
Smoker.
true?
Yes, that's true. That's why you stopped playing Smoker, is you lost like 6 games in a row, and you're like, I'm fucking done with this.
Yeah, it's just you
It's
can't beat
a
Whitebeard.
competent stage weird player just kind of hard checks the shit out of Smoker. Going first as Smoker must be pain versus Whitebeard. That was another big thing, is he couldn't decide to go second.
Oh yeah,
and I got
he
to
went
pick.
second every time.
That's
I'm like,
not so
when?
no, but here's the thing. There was a game where I ended up going first and I didn't see the stage, and I was like, wow, this is going really poorly for me. And then I still won at the end anyway. It didn't even matter. It felt way worse than every other time. But
that game was really close. I think I was like 2K off in actually winning the game, but it didn't fucking matter.
So yeah, that's Samuel, you put it perfectly. Whitebeard is going to be the most played deck and the best deck. So playing Smoker is a bit funky. That's the thing. Smoker is so good into every other deck.
Else. Oh my god, it's so good.
But it just gets hard checked by Whitebeard.
And another thing too, I honestly I personally want to put Whitebeard or not Whitebeard, sorry. Smoker higher because it actually has a really good matchup into like every deck in the game. Like, it just beats so much.
I still don't think it's good into Zoro.
It's fine. It's not great into Zoro.
I'd give it like a 40% into Zoro. That's where I'm at.
It depends. It really depends how good you are.
But other, well, it also depends on how good you are with Zoro. I mean,
that's true.
Every other late game deck, like the Ivankovs, the Kinemons, the Kaidos, everything else that wants to go slow. I shouldn't say wants to go slow, but just is slower than Red's Turbo Fuck Your Anus. Like Smoker is amazing into.
Smoker's so good. It's just when you're playing against Whitebeard,
Red is too strong for it right now. That's the issue.
It's just annoying as hell.
Yeah.
And it makes it really hard to win. And I put so much time into Smoker. Like, I'm trying to make it work still. I still low key think Smoker might be my main, like low key. But like yeah, put her there. But Smoker is a phenomenal deck. And if you guys aren't looking at our Patreon, we just posted the my Smoker deck list that I've been playing with very decent success, except against Whitebeard. But here's the thing about Whitebeard against Smoker is I actually consistently beat every single Whitebeard player I encounter ever, like every single time. I do not lose to Whitebeard, except if it's Max. Like, a competent Whitebeard player, I can't beat. Like,
and that's see that him saying that exact statement to backtrack a little is the biggest reason that I'm like, Whitebeard is clearly not just completely brain dead. Because I literally I'd play against you playing Smoker and I'm like, what a free win. Like, this is so nice. And then to hear that you just stomp other Whitebeard players, I'm like, okay, so there's some skill going on here. Uda in front of King, are you on crack? Am I on crack? Are we both on quack? I mean, I'm always on quack. I'm as a matter of fact, the hat is buried. I need to get out my hats. We're both on quack. Let's start there. I would put Uda in front of King, not because it is any more meta viable, just because it brings more uniqueness than King. Barely.
I think it's cooler.
Yeah, so it goes slightly higher.
It's not based on skill or
everything in the D tier is equally trash, I think, and I like Uda more than King. So there.
I don't know. I think King's a better deck than Uda, but
I don't know. Someone brought Uda to our Treasure Cup and won 4 of their games.
Someone brought King into the Treasure Cup and also won a bunch of games. I don't know.
Who the fuck did that? I don't.
There was only 2 King players, and I managed to find the other one because
Uta can play ducks. Yeah.
I lost my round 1 in Treasure Cup, and I played next to a King, and that's how I knew it was going to be bad from here on out. And I was like, huh.
Okay. Mono Red Luffy is going to go into the B tier. I think he's going to go right below Z, even though I hate to admit that. And the big thing about Mono Red Luffy is not that it's a bad deck. It's that Whitebeard and Zoro are here. And one of our conditions for B tier was better decks that do similar things just exist. And that's the big thing. That's another big thing with Z is that Smoker just exists and it does almost everything Z does, but better. It's just that the better versions of this deck exist. So the B tier are the decks that could compete in theory, but are just not there or have better variants. And that's where we're at. I saw him beat a Luffy. Oh my god. Quatman saw the King beat a Luffy player. That's so funny. There you go. What a
I think that if you're playing Luffy, you could I think technically Luffy's an A tier deck, but again, since our classification of Luffy is there are 2
I honestly
way better
don't
decks.
even think that Luffy's an A tier deck. Like, it
I think it is, but it's the bottom of A tier.
Nah, put it next to these 3 decks. I don't think it stands along Smoker even cover Law. Not at all.
That's fair. Okay, Kid.
So Kid should have gone here in theory.
Yeah, I agree,
I'm not putting it there anymore.
but I do not.
It's now
think it goes
B.
there either.
It's
Yep,
now top of B.
100%.
And this is what
100%.
happened. When this didn't exist, when Whitebeard wasn't here, this was
That
like
goes there.
here.
Yep, I agree.
Because this deck was really good into Zoro, and it could fight everything else in the meta. And
Yep.
now it just loses to Whitebeard and is no longer a counter pick to the best meta deck. And
also
that's what
think-
brings it down.
Yeah, 100%. Also, I think that Kid, when I'm playing against Kid as Law or Smoker, I have an auto win because one, Law was already a really
Law's
good matchup
already a
against
good
Kid,
matchup into Kid.
and now it gets only better.
And
So now
Smoker's Black is
Smoker-
amazing at dealing with A-Drop Kid.
Yeah, exactly. Black has every answer. Like I was playing Smoker yesterday for fun, just chilling, and I played against a Kid player, and he played Kiku turn 2, whatever. And I was like, okay, Kobe. And then he played like a 5. I think it was like Basil or Law. All right, whatever, Sakazuki. Like I answered his board state every single turn. He really couldn't do anything. It was a good game, and Black can just do that.
Yep.
Black is a really good matchup to green.
So, top of B,
that's-
that's fine.
Yeah,
I also
Smoker
think Smoker
just
Trash
destroys
Kid, yeah, it
Kid.
does.
And if you
But
have
it's so
like,
budget to upgrade.
it is
What?
budget.
Oh, we're talking about Kid? I
Kid,
mean, play
yeah.
it then. You can play anything in B tier. You can. It's
You
fine.
can play any deck anywhere.
Kid is also very budget. Yeah, honestly,
you can play
the only
Garp.
thing you need for
Be
the
cool.
only thing you need to transfer to Kinemon is a 1 SR, like 1 SR that you might want to run in Kid anyway. So
Yeah, like the thing about Kid too is that if somehow Whitebeard just falls off the face of the planet, which it won't, but if it did, it would be again like Max said,
honestly,
way higher.
the set 2 is an amazing set for budget players. It really is.
Yeah,
Because you can play Whitebeard, which is almost exclusively bulk. The only SR you need is Ace. And if you want Whitebeard, but honestly, whatever.
You honestly probably don't.
Kinemon is like what 8-drop 1 SR once again, right? 8-drop Odin. Maybe 8-drop Kid.
Yamato is a rare, I think.
Who cares?
I don't even remember.
Like rares and below, I'm calling that bulk. Fun fact.
Sure. Okay. fair enough.
Maybe the secret rare Yamato if you're cool like me, but you don't need it. A lot of lists don't run it. Ivankov 1 SR, and then a bunch of bulk.
Wait, no, 2 SRs.
What's
Luffy
the other?
and Ivankov are both SRs, I think.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, so Ivankov's the least budget fucking one.
Technically, Black is because Black has more SRs than anything else.
No, oh yeah, Black is way
Black
less
has-
budget because it needs the secret rare too.
It needs secret rares.
It needs secret rares. It needs Kuzans. It needs Borsalinos.
Kuzan,
It needs
Sakazuki,
Sakazuki.
Borsalino. Yeah, like. and they're
Although
all
is
SRs.
Borsalino an SR?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like no way.
I still
right?
want max ready that deck, bro. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
an
it's
SR.
an
Yeah,
SR.
wow, damn, Black is crazy expensive.
Black is really. But here's my counterpoint though. Why I still set 2, I still consider a budget set, even if you're building Black or Blue. Even call I still consider it that because getting. I talk to people about this every single day. I swear to God, getting product from set 1 for new players is like near impossible. Like it's really, really expensive right now. And set 2, now you have the option to just be like, okay, now that I know what this game is, I now know that this is a thing. I can build a deck essentially from scratch in the form of Black, and so you now can do that, and it'll be cheaper than trying to build like cards from set 1, because Zoro is going to go up in price.
So what? Just play White.
Ivankov is like a mostly bulk with 2 SRs. Right, so it's like,
but
it's
Smoker.
going to
Listen,
be-
set 2's a budget set, but Smoker's not. Like Smoker's not cheap at all, dude.
No, that wasn't my point. My point was
Sounded like your point.
No. My point is if you're building off of like if you're a new player starting set 2, like you're totally fine to build a Black deck because chances are if you're going to build like say Zoro, there's a good chance that Zoro from set 1 is going to be fucking hard to get and be expensive as hell.
Honestly, I don't even think it'll be that much. I don't think it'll go more than 35 at most. And then
Yeah,
that's
but
the
you need
only SR.
4?
But that's it.
And
Oh,
also
and
Ducks
maybe
and Gordons, which are going to
Sonny's
be
and Gordons.
Sonny's and Gordons, which might jump in price now.
Okay, but you're comparing Smoker to the other most expensive deck in the format. Now compare it to either Kinemon or Whitebeard.
Well, Whitebeard, yeah, those are literally pennies.
Or honestly, Ivankov.
It's just an example. That's just the worst case scenario is you're building a new deck from scratch. Like,
Or
you have
fucking
access
honestly, you know
to-
what? We're gonna skip Crocodile for a second just to go Kaido, which I put bottom of A, or Kaido,
Yeah,
which is
I
also
agree
dirt
with all the
cheap.
things. Is it? Because you need 2 trial decks, and then that deck's
So
dirt cheap.
what? You get,
Dirt
but the
cheap, yeah.
singles. Honestly, fun fact. Hot. Here you go. Real quick. If you're new to this game and you're trying to get cards from the starter decks of the first round, do not buy the sealed starter decks. They are selling them for an absorbent amount of money. Buy the singles out of the starter. I've told many people this. If you can find the sealed starter decks at a reasonable price is at most $30 each. Go for it. At most. But some people I talk to, they're like, yeah, I bought each of my starters for $70. And I was like, what? You paid $140 for your fucking starter decks?
That's gross. I hate
For your one deck? I was like, never do that again. Never do that ever again. Yeah, so just be careful. Just look at TCG Player. Just be cautious.
Yeah, but see, the thing is though, like the best deck in set 2, in my opinion, like is gonna be Pennies.
No,
so, like,
Quatman, it was not super pre-release. I saw his deck. I played against this man. It was not. If you build a deck with generally 8 SRs black, it's like substituting half of those for secrets.
Oh yeah, black also has that.
That's the 3 Kuzan Secret, yeah.
I always, or 4 if you want to, but it doesn't matter.
3.
I
Okay,
like
Kaido, baby. Yeah, 2 boxes and you'll have enough for set 2 probably. I'll probably stick to Blurple Croc and Christmas Law. I like Christmas Law. That's a funny name.
My only point was that set 1's really hard to get product for at all at this point for newer players. So now you have the opportunity in set 2 to be like, I can now jump and grab product, and if you pull decent, you can build like everything. So
yeah, but SRs, you can always just buy SRs off TCG Player. Like, they're not that expensive. They're just not.
I just what people have been telling me. I don't want to tell you, bro. Like,
that's because people are like stupid. Like, the only SRs that are expensive right now, if you're a new player right now, decide what deck you want to play and buy the SRs right now because they're cheap. Because Treasure Cup just passed, so nothing is expensive.
Yeah, I mean, just play Whitebeard because it will cost you pennies, and it's a
well,
deck
you need 3 or 4 Ace, and that's probably expensive. Actually, Ace probably won't be that bad because it has also 2 different alt arts.
And you also
that drives the prices down.
Yeah, and you honestly, I've seen deck lists run only 2 Aces, so there's that. And the deck doesn't need 9-drop Whitebeard at all.
No, it doesn't. I like it, but you don't need it even a little bit.
You super don't need it. So the deck is going to be literal pennies and be the best deck in the game.
Tetra, we also get play sets of everything because we just want to have access to all the stuff. Although, actually, that's not true. We don't have play sets of everything because we don't care about the event cards. Yay.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck those.
I don't even like them. I don't like a single one. Yeah, see, I know a lot of people like Jim. I've been seeing a lot of players play Jinbei now, or play Doflamingo now to play Jinbei, and I'm sitting there like, that's cool. I'm ignoring your Jinbei, or I'll swing. You get rid of a 3 cost or less.
I think the sad thing is that I don't even like Jinbei in set 2. I only like it right now.
I only like it right now. I agree. Yeah. I think it's cool right now, and then at the second set 2 comes out,
yeah,
it's like,
definitely. I suggest just selling your event cards. I might rebuy them later just for collection purposes when they're cheaper, but right now I don't give a fuck. Because you also get them for the online regionals, right? That's what Dan said.
Oh, I don't know. Probably.
Dan said they were also going to distribute them at the online regionals, and if that's the case, then I'll get them then. Silly. Yep, Quatman and Rolf Turcott both said yes. So fuck that shit. Sell them now while people are stupidly buying them for way too much money, even though literally there's not a good card out of them except for maybe the Jinbei. They're all so bad.
Yep. The only thing I can imagine is if they print out like sets and sets from now. Something that's like, oh, now this card's really good. All of a sudden, it's like, oh,
whatever. I was debating selling my event packs, but they're honestly too expensive to keep. Yeah, you should. So I can't ignore money at the same time. I can't get play sets of those. Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. Sell the event packs. Doesn't matter.
Who cares?
Because they're also too unless you go to like all the treasure cups and do really well, you don't have play sets of them anyway, and don't buy those fucking cards. That's for damn sure.
No, unless
new event pack will roll out in the event starting in April, if not May. March. Online regionals are in March. I got one of each, and I'm good with that. I get that.
Fair enough.
I get that.
Fair enough.
I had them in the back of my binder, and I was gonna keep them all. And then someone saw them in the back of my binder. Was like, "Are you selling these?" And I was like, "For cold hard cash." And he's like, "Would you take government money?" I was like, "What does that mean?" He's like, "I work for the government, and I make a lot of money." And I was like, "Yes, I would do that." And he just gave me, he just full price immediately gave me cash from all. I was like, "Whatever." You can collect them. I don't fucking care. Like, that's fine.
That's really funny. I think he has to like credit. He has to like make sure that it's coming from the government.
Yeah. Okay. Mono Blue Croc, bottom of B. It's just worse Ivankov. And worse
Yeah.
Doflamingo. It just does those things for worse.
Yep.
Shanks, top of D, because
Yeah.
he's Shanks. And Sakazuki,
I put B.
what'd you say?
I put bottom of B, maybe
Yeah,
above.
I'm thinking
Maybe
bottom
above
of B
Croc.
above Croc. It's literally
Yeah.
just a worse smoker and a worse Z. So
Yeah.
this rolls out where our tier lists. I'm just looking over to make sure there's no last minute changes I want to make, but I'm pretty good.
Yeah. And
We
again,
didn't.
guys, I
Oh,
wanna.
we skipped Kaido because I was making a point, but real quick, I want to touch on Kaido. Kaido has a good
Oh.
Whitebeard matchup, so just be aware of that.
I still think Kaido where he is accurate.
No, Kaido where he is fine. Just be aware that if you're looking for something, if you're specifically looking for decks that are decent into Whitebeard, Ivankov and Kaido are your good choices, in my opinion.
Yep.
I really don't get that about
agree.
America. Like here in Sweden, literally nobody carries cash.
I think Law can compete with Whitebeard
I like cash.
fairly decently. It's just like you're definitely it's not over. Like I'd give Whitebeard 55, even 60% in a matchup where Law does not. Like, it's not majority by any means.
Yeah, I very rarely carry cash. I only carry cash when I carry cash when I go to events and such because I know I'm buying cards to resell, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel very comfortable where we put this. Again, I can't emphasize enough that if you play something from B, don't feel like you won't win because you will. Like Z tops all the time, for example. Like
Z has topped a lot. Luffy has topped a lot. Kid has topped.
Yeah.
Doflamingo and Croc have both topped. Really, the only ones that haven't really topped out of this list are Magellan and Sakazuki, and we kind of gave them pity bees.
Yeah, that's yep.
Okay.
Like, anything in top.
So that is the completion of our tier list. For some reason, the sim isn't. I forgot to pin it to taskbar.
Oh, are we doing the thing?
I have to at least build.
Oh God. Why?
Because I'm a man of my word.
Law has to work hard set too. I don't agree with that much. Like at all. Law's kind of just great. It's just a better deck than it was set 1. It's more consistent. So I don't know about that. I wouldn't think Law has to work hard at all. I think Law just kind of exists. If you're good Law set 1, you'll be good Law set 2.
Blue, purple, Beardy world.
God, I hate this. I hate everything about every second of this. Oh God, stop.
It's too late.
I don't like it. Wait, we're making it blue purple. Why not just stick with purple?
Fine.
Because then you have a good Whitebeard matchup already. Like you're already there.
But then why do you need Beardy world?
You don't need Beardy world.
That's why I wanted to do blue purple.
That's silly.
Whoops.
Yep. Yep. Oh wait. Make sure you make space for the new 2K Shiki. Better.
I got it, bro. I'm there.
Okay.
Have some faith in your boy.
And don't forget X-Drake. Yep, good job. Oh wait, do we care about Sadie? No, right?
Care about what?
Sadie, the new 2K counter.
Maybe we'll have to probably actually.
Because if you're playing Hannibal, cut Orochi. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if we'll have room for the Hannibal package, but I love the Hannibal package, so we're gonna try.
Yeah, you have to make the attempt. And then
honestly, we might end up cutting
Sadie. Don't forget Sadie. We just cut the Orochi for it.
I'm there, bud. We also might end up cutting Shiki anyway. Fun fact.
That makes me a little sad.
No
9-drop, right?
No 9-drop. I just run 3/7 drop these days instead. Probably 4/6 drop because the Kaido matchup. Although I don't know because you run the Beardy world.
Uta, how are we on that?
Probably not.
Sure. Okay, 4. Not 4. Or we don't need 4.
4 Hell's Judgment.
Okay, 4 Oni and then 4 Blast Breath. How much?
I mean, we might not end up running 4 Blast Breath, but we'll see for now.
Oh, okay. You're crazy.
We don't have enough targets off Hannibal right now. Where's here he is.
Input that package too good. Brindy World is officially a better name than Ducks. I'm sorry, Max.
You're so wrong. I'll literally turn off the deck right now, Tetra.
Crack. You smoke crack, like so much crack.
Queen, that's what I'm forgetting. Thank you,
Queen.
Samuel. I was like, I'm forgetting like a really obvious card.
Yeah, so I need a cut now. Okay.
That's literally fine, I promise.
Wait, what's the top right card? I can't remember.
Shiryu.
Wait, what's his KO effect or whatever?
KO up to one of your opponent's characters that cost 1 or less. It's really good for your Zoro matchup, and it's an impel down card with a counter stat. You can search off Hannibal. if we cut this, we need to put in something else with impel down, which is counterintuitive because we're trying to cut for queen right now.
Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna argue it. We could
See,
cut.
it's literally just like if I were to just cut Byrndy World.
Yeah, it'd be so easy. We could cut a blocker in a 2K.
Man, if Bandai give Byrndy World the impel down tag like in the story, or yeah.
Can we like this sucks? We could cut.
We could cut.
It's also not we cut a yeah, but if we cut a blocker, I don't want you to cut.
We can cut it. We can cut a Higurashi. Higurashi is worse for us because it's not searchable.
Only because it's not searchable. Yes.
Yeah, but the 2K, the 3K difference isn't that big because no one's running Shanks anymore, so it doesn't really matter.
And then cut a X-Drake, I guess, or no, yeah, X-Drake.
Well, X-Drake is the
No, because both of them are searchable off Hannibal.
No, Shiki's not searchable off
Hannibal. Then get that shit. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Then cut Shiki.
It should be, but it's fucking not.
Okay, yeah, there you go. All right, let me look at this list.
I kind of want one more 6-drop king. I just don't know what to do about it.
I don't know if I like 4 Hell Judgment.
Oh, then you're smoking crack.
Well, I like 3 Hell Judgment, 4 Blast Blare over.
Nah.
Also, I'm not sure
Hell's Judgment is actually way better than Blast.
I like the 3 split. I like the 3 split with the 7-drop and 6-drop.
But you need to open 6-drop king against Whitebeard.
Yeah, but you need 7-drop king for Zoro.
You don't need 7-drop king for Zoro. That's the difference. It's just very helpful.
Okay, then you change it back. It's fine.
I'll keep it like this. I'm kind of with you. Okay, World is basically an extra win con. Byrndy World is specifically for the Whitebeard matchup. Because if you Dom -8 this card, you win.
Yeah.
That's the concept behind the deck.
Game over.
Yeah. Man, it's just looks like Byrndy World smokes crack too. Have you read that card? I have read this card, yes. So stupid.
I hate this stupid card.
Why does Shiki not have the impel down type? He's literally wearing prisoner clothes in the art. It's specifically so that Hannibal cannot grab 2 different 2K counters, which is stupid because they should have just made this Shiki not impel down. But what the fuck ever, I guess. Yeah. Like they had the option.
Yeah, but my only thing is, if you're playing Kaido, don't you already have a good Whitebeard matchup? Do you even need the Byrndy World?
You're fine in the Whitebeard. Like, I don't think you counter Whitebeard. With Byrndy World, you might just straight up counter Whitebeard. That's what we're testing. You know what I mean? Like, this is not definitive. These are not definitive statements. Because what I really want is to cut these Byrndy Worlds and put in a king and a Blast Breath.
Same.
Or a king and a blocker, or a king and a 2K. Any of those. Actually, probably king and a 2K. Would be my personal preference.
Yeah.
No blocker Uta or Koala Beast. We do not have space for blocker Uta, and Koala Beast is you could cut Shiryu for the Koala Beast. Like that's an option. I prefer Shiryu because it's really good in Zoro.
Yeah, but so Uta can be good in Zoro too.
Well, no, because you need the impel down card.
No, I'm with you. I'm just saying the reason was kind of a little silly.
No,
just a little silly ability.
Cutting Shiryu for Koala is you're bringing up Uta. We're not even talking about Uta. Like
I was.
No, we were, but we weren't. You're coming out of left field. And we were saying you could cut Shiryu for the Koala because they're both impel down types. It's just, do you want another blocker or do you want your removal into Zoro? It's tomato. It's whatever you prefer. That's what I need for the 6-drop queen and the 6-drop king in this deck to clear out Marco so Byrn can get through. That's kind of true, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think we have to do this.
That's true.
But if we do that, then we have to do Shiryu instead of Koala.
Why?
Because we're cutting King for our Zoro matchup.
Oh,
so we
right.
need the Shiryu for the Zoro matchup.
I'm there.
All right, Byrndy World. Here you go. This is what I would do.
I think the only change I'd make is... No, actually, never mind. Because you have Hannibal, never mind.
Yeah, if you're not running the Hannibal engine, you can get away with more stuff. I just really think that the Hannibal engine is what makes Kaido good in this set. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's just so good. This is the best counter in the game. It sincerely is. This card is so insane. It's really good into, like, everything in the planet.
It's pretty good. I'll give you that. It's definitely not a bad card. Yeah, I don't think I'd change anything. Except not run Byrndy World.
I mean, I'm willing to test the Byrndy World strat, but I'm not confident in it, you know?
Yeah. Me neither.
Let's see if I can
playing it?
Why not? You might be able to get away with Film Engine, but I don't want to be bad. I don't want to be bad.
There's only so much trolling you can get. Saying you can bring New World is
Oh,
perfect.
we get to test.
Wait. Do you want to go second because then you deny them going second?
I think so.
Perfect.
Holy shit.
That's perfection.
This is a golden hand.
That's the god hand. Judgment single-handedly makes you hate the simulator if you're trying to test OPO1 2 months ago. Yeah. Nice.
Gotta
Send a
show him
message.
who's boss, yeah.
You're sending a message. Alright, so now he can't do anything unless he plays stage here.
Yeah, so now we get to see.
And he doesn't have stage, so
I actually might counter out of this.
Well, when you're playing against Whitebeard, guarding early is fine, honestly.
Well,
And
worst attacks are to come, and I've got everything I need. Oh, he plays
Oh.
Rakuyo. That's cool.
I don't like Rakio, but a lot of people are starting to play Rakio because of the OPO3 nonsense. Which
no, I do like Rakio. I'm super. I ain't seeing no Beardy concede.
In set 3, I'm there.
No, I think set Rakio is way better in. Rakio is I'm there. Rakio is way better in set 3 because you have the Ezo, but it's fine in set 2. It's just not as good in my opinion.
I just think it takes up space for other cards you kind of need in set 2. So not a fan.
Oh, I win! I win the whole game.
Oh,
he's bad.
No, he's gonna be at 2 life. Marco's effect will go off. We're bad. Never mind. Did the same thing I did with Radical Beam. Pretty funny.
5 or more. Damn it.
Yeah.
I would have fucking done it. I really would have.
Oh man, that's funny.
Oh my god, can I not have every king under the sun?
You're gonna lose. Well wait. Oh, okay. Just say you have 7 Dawn, that means you get to put 1 onto the leader.
No, I'd rather him 2k to. That's fine. Because now I'll just blow it up with king.
Whatever.
And I have 1 up for
bluffing the.
Yep, exactly.
Get rid of the stupid card. Yep. Nice. Okay. Now we're gonna keep doing that every turn. Unless you need to play queen. And that's about it. This is silly.
So he will be at 9 next turn, so I have to put him to 0 in case he runs the 9 drop.
I hate that. I hate that so much. That
that's why I run the 9 drop.
Yeah,
that shit's so busted.
It's so annoying because even if there's a good chance they're not playing it, there's a chance that they do play it. So you have to be aware, and it means you have to play differently even if they don't run it. And I hate it. I hate it, and it sucks.
He got ace, but he can't play it this turn. Okay. Oh fuck.
Setting up. He's got the board. He's got the Bellham, which becomes a 5k off of the beard. That's pretty sweet.
That's not a bad.
Off the Moby Dick.
Not bad, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Fuck.
7k at lead. Yeah, that sucks.
That's no, I will not be triggered.
Look, we're not gonna play the Shiki and be bad. Oh, he's swinging. I mean, counter with your 4k. There it is. 4 drop. I mean.
Yeah, I think that was kind of bad.
That was kind of silly.
Maybe he wants me to swing into this because he has fucking Whitebeard.
Well, in that case, you don't take the bait. You still. Well, then again, you can swing leader into it and not care. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I gotta do that.
You don't even invest Dawn to do it.
Is he countering?
No, you just gotta discard card.
Okay. Well, he stayed at counter step for a while, and that's why I was like, huh.
Fun fact: did you know that if you say Moby Dick in the OP Sim chat, automatically concedes and says "good game" in chat? Really? I have my opponent's side in a tournament recently. That's really funny, actually.
If you say Moby Dick in the OP Sim chat,
oh my god! I wonder if I remember you disconnected off of that happened to us where you automatically.
No way! Are you being serious? Because that actually happened to me.
That happened to us, and we weren't sure.
And I conceded a game. That's the other game you won, quote unquote. Because I typed in chat, "Where the fuck is my Moby Dick?" And then it conceded on me, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
but I was really confident I was gonna win the game, and then I did that, and I lost, and I was tilted as fuck.
I also was pretty confident that was winning the game. Just saying.
Yeah, I had 2 Whitebeards on board. My leader was AK. My hand was fucking defensive as fuck. So
my hand was also pretty.
Or no, my leader wasn't AK, but I had 2 Radical Beams, 2 guard points. Hi, Mitch.
It was a close game. That was a very close game that we were having, and then you just left the game and was like, okay. I was like, I guess I'll win. And that was the Law matchup. I won plenty amount of times. So nice try.
Oh, that was Law? Okay.
Yeah.
He 2K'd counter, that means he's got 9-drop
If it was
Whitebeard.
Smoker,
That
then
fucking sucks. I'm getting
story,
destroyed right now.
You are not having the best of times. I mean, at least his board state isn't a thing.
But he's about to play 9-drop Whitebeard.
Or he's gonna play Ace.
No, because he. Then why did you counter, you dumb shit?
Because he just doesn't want to be at 0 yet.
But he's going to 0 right now.
Because he's bad. I don't tell you.
Sorry, Max. Can you type the name of the stage your opponent has? I can't see it. Yeah, right.
Remember, you're on Sim. That's really funny. He's gonna attack with the Moby Dick, or not Moby Dick, the Marco. That seems incorrect. But like a lot.
Honestly, it might just not matter because he has 2 Dawn up.
You're right. It probably doesn't matter. Yeah. We could be defensive, play the queen, discard the king, and then try to post up a...
I'm going to start with this.
Yeah, fair enough. Are you implying Sim players aren't the best? I'll have you know I play Sim. Well, sorry to say.
You're a Sim player? You must be trash. Okay.
You can put 1 onto the king, make it AK, swing for that. You have 9 left. You can play the queen after that, and then you'll have 4 left, and that'd be in case you draw another blast spirit there.
If I had 1 more life, dude, this 10-drop would be so gas.
It would be real good. No, wait, you're fine to play 10-drop.
No, I'm not, because Marco will live.
Oh, you're right. I forgot Marco was the worst card ever. I hate that card. It's so broken. This is why I usually have private PlayStation with friends and locals.
1, 2, 3,
yeah.
4, 5. I'm going to play queen first to see what I draw.
That's what I would do. Discard the 10-drop? Okay. Seems good.
I can never play it.
Well, wait. You can play the blocker.
I'm deciding.
You have enough
I'm deciding
blocker or Hannibal.
That's what I'm deciding right now is blocker or Hannibal.
Well, I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring. I think you should put 1 onto the king
and then do Hannibal. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Although that's just a guard point.
Yeah, but it's 1 less guard point for next turn.
I guess.
It's either that or it's a 2K. Like, I'd rather get a guard point at hand than a 2K. Yeah, there's guard point. Play the Hannibal, get the 2K counter from it. Yep, there's 2K counter right there, my guy. Sadie on the left.
Yeah, but Hell's Judgment is there too.
Yeah, but you already have Hell's Judgment in hand. You don't
yeah,
need
but I'm
going to
use it this fucking turn.
I don't know, man. I mean, yes, that's fair. You do you.
I'm gonna grab Beardy World.
Yeah, that's not fair.
I wish I could.
That would honestly be kind of great. Because then that'd be so much better. So stupid that's not. I would grab Sadie, but you do you.
The question is, am I trying to win next turn? Which I don't think I can.
I don't think you might have a choice, though.
Sorry, thinking. But I don't think I can win next turn. That's the thing.
There's a reason Whitebeard is tearing up set 3. Yeah, because it's broken. Easel Searcher. You get Easel Search. You get the other Marco. You get... That deck is just nuts. The fact that Easel...
All right, I'll trust you and grab Sadie.
Well, wait. Don't blame me if you lose.
That's
not what that means.
I will.
If Sadie, you can play blocker.
What? Oh, you're saying I could play Higurashi?
Nah, but you want to keep the Hell's Judgment and the Blast Breath up, so no, you can't. But you could, and actually, you could in theory.
Actually, I think playing the blocker might be better.
It actually might be better because
that's
you don't need Hell's Judgment. Yeah, blocker is way better than Hell's Judgment right now. Yeah, I'm there.
Is King better into Whitebeard than Kaido?
No.
Are you sure? Do you ever
Yes.
crit Kaido?
Don't.
Or do you
need- I
ever
mean,
crit Whitebeard?
Yeah, but you have the option to. What's the 1 minus 1K gonna do for you? What is that really gonna do?
Make it easier to swing into Marco.
That's the stupidest thing I have ever heard in my entire
Listen to
life.
this, man. He doesn't even know. Do I counter out of this? I think I do, honestly.
I mean, you only need 2K, so
Yeah.
I would. Now he's also probably gonna swing into it more with the ace, but you also gotta play.
I'm surprised he didn't play an ace first. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, I'm also. It means he's not going to, unless he's with like 2 more Marcos. Ooh, Jozu.
That's a
Oh,
7K.
that's annoying, but I don't think it's a matter. Oh, your hand sucks. Hmm. That
Sorry.
Marco's a problem.
See, I don't mind if he swings to the Marco is the thing.
I mean, if he swings with the Marco,
I
then
think
he's
I
a good chance
block.
to win.
I think I block and let the queen die.
You might have to. I don't know what he does with his Dawn though.
Another Jozu.
Yeah, like that. But now he's tapped out, which is really good. Now I counter with the blast breath. Yeah, you definitely need it, unless he swings with the Marco. Okay. So now we can play the king now.
And then I'm
Kill-
an 11K.
Wait, I'm math.
Or I could do 6 and 10.
You can do 6 and 10.
6 and
That's
10 is
what I'm
actually way
thinking.
better.
Well, the only thing is if he has a 2K, 1K, and a 1K, that means he needs 1 2K and 2 1Ks, then he lives. Then you lose.
Well, no matter what, this is the first thing I do.
Okay.
It's just gotta be. And if he uses card action, yeah, he doesn't. Okay. So if I go up to 11, he needs 2K.
Oh,
he needs
wait.
3 2Ks.
No, wait.
Wait.
Oh, no, you're right.
If I go up to 11, he needs 3 2Ks. If I do 10, he needs 2 2Ks and a 1K and then another counter. So if I do 10 and if I 8
would be 2K, 1K, 2K, 1K, but then you need only 2Ks.
Yeah, no, that's worse than 10 6.
But the thing is, if he has 1 card in hand that's dead, a 2K.
If he has 1 card in hand that's dead, then 10 6
then
wins anyway. 10 6 is better. It forces more 2Ks.
Or just go 11.
No, that's way worse. Then he only needs 3 2Ks. He can have 1 dead card in hand. Most of his deck is 2Ks.
Right. Or it just doesn't matter. His hand's bad. 9, 10. Now if he has a 1K.
But if it doesn't, the 11, it wouldn't have mattered if he had the 1K anyway.
You're right. The math did not matter.
Yeah, the math.
There you go.
If this Vista was a 2K, then that play would have won me the game.
Easy.
Now, I'd just like to say, B&D World did not. I'll go second again.
See any play? Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Perfect. Your hand's garbage.
Oh my god. Come on. Come on now. Okay. I mean, it's a body. Oh my fucking god. I have no targets. Did the music just get really loud, or is that just me? Anthony, are you still there? Alright, well, I don't know what happened to Anthony. Let's just play blocker. What the fuck happened to Anthony? He just left the clap cam. Didn't drop Ernie, that's why it's so hard. Ah, dude. I have no Oni. That's what this hand is. I have a lot of defense and no Oni. Let's see if I can somehow grind this game out. And no top end. Honestly, no top end is worse than no Oni. I don't know what the fuck happened to Anthony. He just left me. What do you grab? You grabbed ace? Okay. I think I have to take this. I really don't want to take this, though. Like, this early damage, I have to counter out of this. I just can't. Just waiting for you to come up with a spicy Sanji list. We've done that. That's old news, bro. Birindy and 2 cards, one at a time. Okay, that queen's pretty sweet right now. Let's do that. I take it back. I think I dump a Hell's Judgment. I don't think I want 3. Do I want 3? Because I want to play this king next turn, so I think I dump this Hell's Judgment. Let's get him low fast. Then play it on stream. Let's go. I don't have it built anymore. It's old news. It's vanillas. It's a bunch of 1-drops and Kabuji emoji. It's a bunch of 1-drops, Kabuji emoji, and then the stupid the Wano card that's draw 2 when you rest 2 cards, and then you play Ivankov. That was my plan. Fuck. Oh, that Rocky-O. Actually, that's fine because I'm going to king it. Oof, that's annoying, though. Surprised he didn't put one on Rocky-O before swinging with both of those. Just reblock. Okay. Wow, that's really sweet. Whoo, baby! Bringing it back. Okay, mine is the same, just minus Eva and a bunch of blockers, and that's it. Blockers and draw and block. Gotcha, that makes sense. That's pretty much my whole list. I block and draw a card. Oh, did he finally... I'm trying to get Anthony back. So 9. I think I just take that. Okay. So he just scooped? He scooped and DC'd. Kaido! Beardy World is 2-0 versus Whitebeard. I haven't seen that card. I don't like the I don't think it's Beardy World. I think it's just Kaido is decent. This guy DC'd because he was about to fucking lose to no Oni Kaido, and I think that's funny. Hold on. I want to try something. It wouldn't let me. Okay. Whatever. Whoa. Alright, well. He randomly deployed 2 Moby Dicks. Yeah, right? I swear that the people on the sim are worse than actual bots. He wasn't even doing like that terribly until the very end there. But I guess that's what we're going to call it today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for this tier list and I guess this Beardy World deck. I gotta be real though, like I never saw the card. But I hope that even beyond Beardy World, that gave you a good showing of why Kaido is decent into Whitebeard. So, sorry that Anthony DC'd at the end there. We were trying to figure out, but he's just gone. But I'm not going to worry about him anyway since we're leaving. I will see you guys next time. I will be streaming next Tuesday on my next day off at the latest. Anthony will probably be streaming before then. I just can't guarantee myself because I also do all the coaching. So, talk to you later, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.